All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me today here on Model Monday Live. I think it's going to be a good one today. Doing a little bit of adjustment here to my mic setup. It's always a little tricky balancing it out when we have a special guest on the Zoom call, and then switching back over here to Model Monday where it's just me and you guys. But welcome. Jern is in the chat. What's up, John D? What's up, Aaron C? Welcome. Getting all ready for your match this weekend, Aaron? I'll bet you're getting a little nervous. It's a high-pressure situation. Ali Amore is here. What's up, Ali? Thank you for joining us. Great to see you in here today. Great to see everybody in here today. It's a beautiful Monday, October 23rd. It was a pretty wild weekend. The matchups this weekend were really tight. The Golden Spamfish got a brutal roll on the Wheel of Fate, and ended up succumbing to the will of Ivan the Reasonable, and the Victor K versus Juiced matches were unbelievable. They were absolutely amazing to witness. So really good matches this weekend. And here he is, the man himself, Ivan the Reasonable, showing up right when we were talking about him. Welcome, Ivan. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Aaron, I agree. I can't believe how good all the runners were this weekend. Total masterclass. And you guys know that, I love all of the runners, but watching Victor K this weekend, like if you go back and you watch that video, the recording of him running those two models, you'd be hard-pressed to find a mistake. It looked like he went through pretty much flawless. I got to watch the video again. I'm cutting together some highlight reels this week, but it was just an absolute masterclass. Victor K just put on a clinic. It was hard to find a spot where he really made a mistake, and he just completely crushed through. He says Victor K is here in the chat. He says the shark fin, I made a mistake or two in it. Well, I didn't see it. I thought it was pretty darn awesome. Watching Juiced and watching you guys, going against each other was so cool. So thankful to have been witness to that, had the chance to do commentary on that. And guys, this weekend, haven't really announced it. I hinted at it a little bit, but this weekend we are on schedule to have John Hirschtek himself, the founder of SolidWorks, the founder of Onshape, the true OG, the absolute godfather of CAD. John Hirschtek is going to be joining us this weekend. We had the fortune of having him commentate about a little over a month ago, and we get to have him again here for the Elite 8. He's going to be able to witness the SolidWorks versus SolidWorks match between Aaron C. and Pranav, and then he's going to be co-commentating on the Imants versus Jihan Rafa match of Onshape versus SolidWorks. Two products that he founded. He's going to be able to commentate on them. So I think it's going to be great to have him in here. It was so cool having him in here a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, and him giving us some little insider information on the history of SolidWorks, on the history of some of the icons. He talked about how the rebuild light came to fruition. It was essentially meant to be a placeholder, and it just kind of stuck, and they never changed it. And then other CAD systems started using that traffic light as the rebuild light, which is really interesting because it's what does a traffic light have to do with rebuilding? Where is there even any kind of a parallel that you could draw between them? I don't know. I guess the traffic light kind of resets the system, right, of the intersection. I don't know, but very interesting to learn that it was really just kind of a random placeholder that stuck, and then that other CAD systems ended up taking on and using as their rebuild light. So excited to have John in here again this weekend, calling the action with me in the booth, and I hope you guys will tune in for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So today we're going to do 2 CAD speed modeling challenges for the chat. We're going to talk a little bit about the new website. We're going to do some live solves using Onshape. We're going to really be talking about the tournament more than the website. And of course, we're going to be interacting with the best chat ever. Jason O is in the chat saying hello. Hello, Jason. Great to see you in here again. It's been a while if you're the same Jason O that I remember from before. So the tournament this weekend, we had the LL bracket. We had the space plate. We had the shark arm, and we had the clamp lever. So if there's any of these that you want me to model up, let me know in the chat. You can just type in the name of the part, or you can type in the number 68, 62, 63, and 67, and I will model them up for you. Otherwise, I will just decide myself. Don't forget, the best way to support the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. But of course, if you see us broadcasting and you like what we're doing, take a screen capture, share it on your social media, share and reshare, and we will definitely continue to grow this experience. Aaron C is saying, let's model up the shark arm in Onshape. You got it, Aaron. We'll do the shark arm, no problem. We can model that up in Onshape, I'm sure. 63. All right, guys, here we go. Your challenge today is going to be to take a 2D print and turn it into a 3D model as quickly as possible. You're then going to try to calculate the mass of that 3D model, and you're going to enter that mass directly into the YouTube chat. The first person to calculate the mass correctly will win the point for the day. And today is October 23rd. Hold on a second, guys. I got a little bit of a error in the PowerPoint. We're going to do a live correction here. Just like look over there for a minute. Don't look at what this guy's doing over here. Just look over there. Let's make this 23rd. Right? It's the 23rd. We got this. No problem. All right. Perfect. Yeah, it said 23rd the whole time. So the basic rules are that you can use any 3D CAD package you want. You can input the density, output the mass. You can use a specified precision, and the first correct answer in the chat will be declared the winner. Will win the point for the day. And the units that we use in this modeling challenge, this weekly challenge that we do, is IPS or MMGS. The materials are plain carbon steel, 1060 aluminum, and ABS. Now, the densities that are listed there are the densities straight out of the SolidWorks library of materials. If those densities are different in your library, you're going to want to create your own custom library for these materials so that you can quickly calculate the correct answer. So be sure to check these materials, grab a screen capture so that you've got them in your library. Make a custom library. I've got a video showing how I create custom templates in SolidWorks and how I use sensors in SolidWorks. I've also got a video on the Onshape YouTube channel about how to create the custom materials in Onshape for these challenges. So make a custom materials library. That way you can add those custom materials more quickly. The advanced rules are this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. Now, guys, just want to say that I know that with the Victor K and the Will match, I made a mistake, and the mistake was that I gave the point to the wrong person. I gave the point out incorrectly because I misread the answer. But what has not happened yet in the tournament is there hasn't been one single print so far that has gone out missing a dimension. And I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised about that, and I'm kind of waiting for it to happen. It makes me very nervous because I feel like it's inevitable that I will release a print and it'll be missing a dimension, and then both of the runners are gonna be like just kind of scrambling and not really know what to do. And because it hasn't happened yet, the stakes keep getting higher and higher, and it's like yeah, exactly what Victor's saying is exactly what I'm worried about. It'll be in the finals. Everything will be built up, you know, it'll be like one round to one round, and then I'll like miss a dimension on the print and then have to scramble to resolve that issue. So I'm very surprised that that hasn't happened yet. It has happened a couple of times on Model Monday Live, so it really is meant to be fun and good-spirited, and eventually I will make mistakes like missing a dimension on the print or something like that. If that happens, we'll just have to figure it out together. And the Ivan exploit is permitted during Model Monday Live, so if you see any opportunities to use the Ivan exploit, feel free to do so. One of the models today, there was an available Ivan exploit, and I plugged it, and I'll talk to you guys about it after I show you guys the model and give you guys a chance to run this thing. So here we go. Let's get into it here. The very first challenge for today's Model Monday Live episode, October 23rd, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram. Now, this is a part that is it's a modified version of a part that I used in a tournament last year. And in the tournament last year, the Ivan exploit was actually used. I think it was Allness who did this one. And in that little section in the middle of that square hole, had sharp corners. Well, now you can see that that section has rounded corners, so you're not going to be able to use the Ivan exploit anymore in that location. You got to actually model it in the correct location. I'll talk to you guys about that maybe a little more later if there's time. But the point is, if you can find a spot to use the Ivan exploit, you can go for it. You know, if you wanted to, instead of patterning those tombstone shaped cutouts at 90 degrees, you know, you could pattern them at 20 degrees if you wanted to. Wouldn't really save you any time. It would look kind of funky. It'd be hard to check it and look at the print, but you know, you could, in theory, do something like that if you wanted to. A lot of times when we try to use the Ivan exploit, we end up spending more time than we would have if we had just created the model standard. So kind of an interesting one here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Some features that are, you know, that are mixing things up a little bit. And good luck. If you're here for the first time, your job right now is to grab a screen capture of this print. Use a print screen or use MW snap or window snipping tool, whatever. Grab a screen capture of this print and try to turn it into a 3D model. Use the material, use the title block, use all of your 3D CAD skills, and see who is the fastest in the chat. Good luck to everyone. And let's continue on here. Talking about the tournament. Man, again, the tournament, I know we've already been hyping it up a little bit here, and I want to make sure that we get some modeling time in here today, so I won't belabor this too much, but it was so awesome this weekend. So thankful to be a part of this, and huge congratulations to Ivan for winning the black bracket, being the champion of the black bracket, moving into the semifinals on November 11th. And huge congratulations to Victor K winning the blue bracket, the champion of the blue bracket, moving on to the championship, moving on to the semifinals and the finals on November 11th. We're going to do that all in one day, all in one live stream. We're going to have a live event at a local conference room here near where I live. And we're going to have a lot of people coming in from out of town to watch that live. We're going to have a live studio audience. We're going to have some fun. A lot of cool stuff's going to happen that day during the November 11th finals. So congratulations to you guys. Huge thank you to JokoEngineering.com for sponsoring the black bracket. Huge thank you to SolidBox for sponsoring the blue bracket. And really impressive cutting through that entire black bracket from Ivan, cutting through the entire blue bracket from Victor K. The red bracket sponsored by Alibre. Shout out to Alibre, putting up some awesome prizes this year. The red bracket's going to feature Imants running Onshape this Saturday versus Jihan Rafa, the last standing Egyptian in the tournament. And Jihan is running SolidWorks. So a little Onshape versus SolidWorks action. And over in the green bracket is sponsored by Revopoint. Revopoint also hooking it up with some prizes, some 3D scanners. Revopoint sponsoring the green bracket. We're going to see Aaron C, who's in the chat today, going up against Pranav. SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, United States versus India. Two very, very skilled users there. Definitely going to be a close match. It's cool to see Aaron C here in the Model Monday live streams, trying to make sure that he's got his chops, make sure that he's ready to go for these challenges. But, you know, Pranav is very skilled, very fast. Pranav was able to dethrone Joush, who is the number 2 seed in the entire tournament. So Pranav versus Joush was really interesting to watch, and we're going to see what happens with Aaron C versus Pranav this Saturday. So exciting stuff. Be sure to tune in this Saturday, October 22nd. We'll go live at 1500 GMT. And just a reminder that we're all trying to make it to the Final Four, because when you get to the Final Four, you get guaranteed some prizes here, $125 USD, $250 USD, and $500 USD for first place. Very, very exciting. When you get into the top 4, that prize money is supported by our sponsor, SolidBox. If you guys work at a company and you ever need hardware that is just gonna work, check out mysolidbox.com. SolidBox makes professional workstations for professional engineers. So whether you're using CAD or CAM, and regardless of what CAD system you're using, they can hook you up with a computer that's definitely going to work for the job that you need it to work for. Also, Joko Engineering. Joko Engineering makes a lot of excellent tips and tricks on a variety of CAD systems. Joko uses a lot of different CAD systems, so felt like he was the perfect sponsor for this tournament where we're seeing a lot of different CAD systems. Just made it to 50,000 subscribers, so be sure to check out Joko Engineering. He did a really cool model of this kind of hexagonal pattern going across a curved surface. Really interesting techniques that he used there in both Alibre and FreeCAD. Check out jokoengineering.com or the Joko Engineering YouTube channel. And of course, huge thank you to Alibre, who sponsored the tournament with their powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD software that's affordable. Alibre has put up prizes for all of the runners in the tournament. So Alibre makes 3 different flavors of 3D CAD, Atom 3D, Pro, and Expert. And for all of the runners, 31st through 3rd place, they're going to get a seat of Alibre Atom 3D. For 2nd place, they're going to get a seat of Alibre Design Pro. And for our champion, we're going to get a seat of Alibre Design Expert. These are lifetime licenses of standalone professional 3D CAD. So very, very cool here from Alibre. Huge thank you to Alibre. If you haven't visited them, visit them at alibre.com. And so, you know, up top here, 1st and 2nd place, you know, massive, massive prizes here. But it doesn't stop there. Our sponsor Revopoint also jumped in and said, we're going to put up some prizes for the top 4 runners. We're going to put up a 3D scanner for all of the top 4 runners. So Revopoint 3D, you can check them out if you're ever in the market for a 3D scanner. The top 4 finishers here, so Ivan and Victor have already locked up, guaranteed themselves a 3D scanner. And Aaron C versus Pranav, Imant versus Jihan Rafa. We're going to see who gets in there and wins a 3D scanner this Saturday. So very, very cool stuff here for our top 4 runners. Revopoint is coming out with a new scanner. It's called the Miraco 3D scanner. There's a link down in the description of this video. If you want to sign up on their Kickstarter, if you're interested in getting a 3D scanner, you definitely want to check this device out. It's really an all-in-one handheld device for 3D scanning, and it's available with a 40% off super early bird discount. So there's a link down in the description of this video, this live stream, if you want to check it out. And maybe, you know, get yourself a 3D scanner, an all-in-one 3D scanner. So huge thank you to all of our sponsors. This tournament has really come together. And again, just a massive congratulations to Ivan and to Victor. Congratulations, guys, winning your brackets and moving on to the Final Four November 11th. And Lindro is here from Italy. What's up, Lindro? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Model Monday Live, you have a chance to test your CAD skills against other CAD users from around the world, live, in real time. It's the only place I know of you can get this kind of action. All right, so we're going to take a look at this shark arm here. We're going to see if we can model this up in Onshape. And the shark arm is kind of a tricky part. The trickiest thing about this part is just realizing that this face here is a conical face, and then kind of thinking and planning out how you're going to model this. There's also some tangency issues happening here with this model. So the conical face runs tangent to this cylinder, and the conical face runs tangent to this cylinder down here. And so because of this tangency, it really makes sense to kind of create these cylinders first, and then go back and create the cone, which when we create a cone in Onshape or in SolidWorks, any 3D CAD, we generally create a cone as a revolve. So you create one cross-sectional profile, and then you revolve that about a center line. That's how you create a cone. And then the final feature on this model, which is going to be pretty tricky, is going to be this this upper section, this kind of tombstone shaped section that's getting extruded down into the rest of the shark body. The solution that Victor came up with, I thought, was super clever, creating that geometry as an extrude and then doing a full round fillet. That's definitely not how I would have done it, but I thought it was such a clever solution, and I think that, you know, this gives us a good opportunity to maybe see a different solution, but definitely impressed with the solution that Victor came up with in the live stream this weekend. So if you want to go back and watch that live stream, go for it. But for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to model this up using Onshape in just a few minutes here. So let's get into Onshape here. Here we go. And once we get into Onshape, let me just bring up the PowerPoint again. Okay. So once we get into Onshape here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a new document. So we're going to say create document, new document. This is going to be called 23-T-63 shark arm. So this way, if you want to sign up for a free account of Onshape, onshape.com/free, you can actually search for this document in the public space, and then you can see the entire feature tree. You can see everything that I'm doing here. So I'm going to start out by going into my workspace units and changing my workspace units to inches and pounds just to match the drawing. And then, like we discussed, I'm going to start out with the geometry that represents those 2 cylinders. However, in this first sketch, I'm going to opt to create basically all of the layout geometry, or at least quite a bit of the layout geometry that I'm going to need for this model. Because what you learn about CAD, especially if you start using a different CAD system, is that oftentimes you can create geometry and then use and reuse that geometry in other areas of the model, whether that's through contour selection in SolidWorks or just kind of the natural way that Onshape works. Different CAD packages are going to work a little bit differently, but it will sometimes you'll find that it is beneficial to create a significant chunk of the geometry in the original sketch or in the original almost a layout. A lot of times I think of this as layout geometry. I don't think of it as, traditional sketch geometry, but a lot of times you can get in here and you can create this kind of layout work and then take advantage of this later on in the design process. So I'm going to just create kind of a large chunk of the geometry here in this initial sketch, and then try to use this geometry a little bit later on as I'm creating the final features for this thing. We don't need to trim in Onshape. We can just kind of leave that geometry as is, as kind of extra. And then I'm going to create these tangent entities here. So this tangent line that comes down, and then this is just going to come down to the center. I'm just creating half of this shape because this is going to be my conical shape here. So I'm just going to be creating half of this model here. I'll take this and make those tangent, and then I'll take this and make those tangent. And that is going to set me up pretty nicely for doing that revolved shape when the time comes. And then the final thing here is maybe creating that region that goes from this line tangent up to this area here. And the thing is, I don't have to create this entire shape because I'm going to end up creating a plane at the end of this point here. But this is just kind of a different way of approaching this model. And that's what I wanted to show you guys today, was just kind of a different way of maybe coming up with this solution. So the way that Victor did it, I really like the way that Victor did it. I encourage you to go back and watch that live stream. But this is just kind of giving you guys a different approach to creating the same result. All right, so now that I've got this geometry in place, I'm ready to jump into my first extrusion. My first extrusion is not going to be of the entire sketch, but just of one portion of the sketch, maybe just of this kind of circle here. A little trick in Onshape that you can use is if you pick the circle first and then jump into extrude, then it'll just get that circle. Although in this case, I didn't get exactly what I wanted. All right, that's all right. I'll just go through and pick the regions here. So now I'm going to turn that into an extrusion with a depth of 4.25. And I'm going to say that's going to be a symmetric so that it goes kind of right down through the center. And now I'm going to show that original sketch, and I'm going to do the same thing here with this back section of the model. So we're going to go into an extrude here, take this out to a depth of 2 inches. And again, we're going to say this is going to be symmetric. Now we're going to jump into our revolve command. So for our revolve command, we're going to be using this geometry here and then this axis. And I think that'll give us what we want. I think I saw either Victor or Juiced revolve it this way, and I was like, oh, that'll actually work. That's interesting. I don't know if we need to go and get the additional entities or the additional regions here as part of that sketch. I think it'll be kind of an identical result. I guess we'll find out at the end here when we get to our additional, the mass properties of this model. But I think that's going to give us what we want there. One way that we could... I guess we're not going to be able to see the tangency if we were to try to check it. So, all right, I'm not going to worry about it right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this line and this end point here, and then I'm going to jump into a plane command, and that creates a new plane perpendicular to that line at the end point. And then I'm going to start a new sketch on that plane. And this is how I would have created this geometry. This is how I actually did create this geometry when I was auditing this model. Instead of creating it from the side view, I would have created it with this kind of tombstone shape, and then use this tombstone Onshape to create my extrusion. So definitely a different approach here, kind of working from the geometry that's on the auxiliary view. And this was, you know, when I saw the way that Victor did it in the live stream, I was really surprised and impressed, and definitely different from how I would have done it. But, you know, he came up with a great solution that definitely worked. So shout out to Victor for coming up with that solution. The problem with this solution that I'm doing here, kind of the gotcha, is like, well, where do I really anchor this lower line? And you just have to look at it and make sure that it's buried in the model. You can actually see it here because I'm extruding the wrong way. So it is buried in the model. So then I'm going to do a reverse direction here, and let's see if we can go up to next what the preview shows. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. That's what I want. It's looking a lot like what I'm seeing on the print. So I'm going to hit the green check mark there. That gives me the geometry that I needed for that region. And now I can go back to my original sketch here and use that original sketch to do my remove. So I'm going to remove the tombstone shape here. So we're going to get this region, and whoops, let's use, so when a sketch is embedded inside of the model, you need to use the tilde command to select the interior region. So we're going to use that tilde. You just hold down the tilde key on your keyboard while you're selecting. And then this is going to go through all symmetric, so through all in both directions. And it looks like I have one more region I got to select there. So I just hold down the tilde key, and then I can choose that other, whoops, not what I wanted. There we go. And that gives us that keyway shape. And now for this end here, I could do this as either a cut extrude, or I could do it as a hole. For me, I'm just about as fast as both. I know that some Onshape users are a lot faster just making the holes, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'll do an extrude, remove, through all. And then for this final hole here, again, same thing. I could do it as a cut extrude or a hole. Let's try and do this one as a hole. I'm just curious if I can actually get it to do what I want it to do. So this is going to be a counter bore, and then the counter bore parameters here are going to be, let's see here, 0.625. I'll press the tab key. 1.25, I'll press the tab key, 0.25, press the tab key. And then for the location, I'll pick this option here for the make connectors. That way I can pick this edge and activate the existing make connector that's on that edge. Airwick would tell me it's not making a new make connector, it's activating the existing make connector. And then what I can do is I can hit the check mark, and that leaves me with this hole running through all. And then I could do a delete face for that hole. So delete face, pick this face here and hit the check mark. And wait, didn't give me what I wanted. Wait, do I have to leave open? No, cap, or no, heal. There we go. There we go. So I could do it with delete face. We always like delete face. We get bonus points if we do a delete face there. Or the other way that we could do that is we could do edit this feature here. And then instead of this feature being a through all, we could say we want this to go blind. And then I do have the depth listed there on the print. The depth, I think I listed the depth there at 2.75. as a kind of like a helper, trying to help out the runners there, letting them know that there's a depth to that. So either way, I would do it with delete face, because delete face definitely gives you, gives you the ultimate extra point that you can get in this game. So now I'm going to do an assigned material. This is made out of plain carbon steel. So from the TTT custom library, we're going to go plain carbon steel, pick this face, go to our mass properties, and the mass is 11.7 pounds. And that is correct. I remember that one, actually. I don't have to look at my answer key. I don't know if I'm going to remember the next one, but I do remember that one. So 11.7 pounds is the correct answer for that model. And that's how you would do the shark, whatever it's called, shark arm in Onshape. I think that you could pretty much do the same thing in SolidWorks, with the exception of the whole wizard would work a little bit differently. But the rest of the stuff that I did there, you could do that all in SolidWorks as well. You could create that entire layout as the first sketch and then use and reuse that layout for all of your features, and do the same thing in SolidWorks. Of course, if you want to see the way the absolute master does it, you can check out the live stream from this weekend, and you can see the way Victor did it using Onshape. But that should be pretty close. Gonzalo says SolidWorks crashed before opening my first part. Yeah, that could be brutal. That's definitely something I don't miss. I don't really get that much crashing with SolidWorks, but I do get an awful lot of like SolidWorks just going unresponsive, and then coming back however many seconds or minutes later. And that's definitely something that I'm enjoying in Onshape, that really doesn't happen, that it just kind of is there waiting for you to work, not you waiting for it. So that's, that's something I like. If you don't have Onshape yet, Gonzalo, you can sign up for a free account, and then you'd be able to try some of these parts in Onshape and not have to worry about it crashing your system. So looks like we got some answers that came in, but if you guys enjoyed using delete face in that section of the model, be sure to hit the like button. Looks like we got 25 people watching, and we have 8 thumbs up likes being pressed. So let's see what we can do to hit that like button to get that 25 viewers to match the number of likes that we have on this video. There we go. I see it just went up to 9. Appreciate that. Whoever the person was, they hit the like button to get us to 9. And if you're watching, if you can take a minute and hit the like button, it really helps with the YouTube. It really helps making sure we get in front of as many people as possible. And don't forget, we do still have a few of these shirts left. We're kind of running down on inventory, but if you want to check it out, you can visit TooTallToby.com. There is a link up top for the t-shirts. And let's get into this first answer here. So this model that I challenge you guys to make, it has added a bunch of the dimensions have changed since the tournament last year, but we also added these fillets here. And the reason why is because I think when Allness did this, he just figured out that the width here at 15 is all that really matters. And so I think he just made the cut go down to the bottom here with the offset distance of 15. So he started the cut up top here, and he had the cut go down and then just stop at the bottom there with an offset distance of 15, and then that was it. And that would have been correct. That would have been an Ivan exploit if these fillets weren't there. But now that these fillets are here, that's kind of meant to thwart the Ivan exploit. So, oh, there we go. Look at that. We jumped right up to 17. Thank you. Zakoru Network says 15 years of trying to get professional on SolidWorks, and now everyone's switching to Onshape. It's way cheaper. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure. I haven't really done the full analysis of like if you have this many users and you're getting annual professional Onshape versus paying subscription for SolidWorks. I haven't run the financial analysis. I'm really more into trying to spread the word of CAD and trying to help people have different options. And the Onshape YouTube channel has a playlist that features me, TooTallToby, going through and talking about kind of my journey from SolidWorks expert and Onshape noob to Onshape intermediate. And so there's a lot of videos on there if you want to watch that. Zakuru Network, if you want to watch that and share it with your team. There's some good tips and tricks that I've been putting out on that channel. The channel kind of went to a lull as far as the TooTallToby content. So I'm excited for when they pick up again. There's a lot of stuff that is waiting to be released, and a lot of that stuff I'm very excited about. So I'm excited for those to start rolling out again, and don't worry, there's a lot more there in the can waiting to be rolled out. All right, so let's take a look at some of the answers that came in for this challenge. I saw that Aaron C was flexing right in the beginning. Let's see here. Aaron C coming up with the answer, 1483 grams, revising immediately to 1481 grams. Just before Victor K was able to come up with the same answer, 1481. Will coming in 1483 grams, and Will revising to 1484. And Sahil is here in the chat. What's up, Sahil? Welcome. Didn't get a chance to say hi to you earlier. And MIB is here. I need to rewatch your sheet metal videos. I have an exam for it tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, good luck with that. I do have some sheet metal tutorials you can watch. I think that'll really help you. And there's also a full 2 or 3 hour live stream on tips and tricks for sheet metal, for getting started in sheet metal. So I hope that'll work as well. X Kent from the Discord, from the SolidWorks Discord. Oh, nice. Nice to see you over here as well. Let's see here. Would have spent 5 minutes creating reference geometry for that tombstone, and then he just pulled it out of thin air. Yeah, he just sketched it from the side on this part here. When Victor did it this weekend, instead of creating a new plane and sketching the tombstone, he just created this shape here on the front view, extruded it to the width of the tombstone. So the width of the tombstone here is 2 inches, and then did a full round fillet to get that rounded off shape at the top. Very, very clever. And especially, considering that he just saw the print and then ran with it. Very, very impressive to be able just to see that model and just come up with a plan. So definitely check that out. Omri coming in with the answer, 2039. Zach is here from SolidWorks World Dallas. Front row seat, Zach. GoPro Zach. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again in the live stream. Let's see here. Think because you designed a part, you wanted someone to use. Yeah, exactly. I wanted somebody to use delete face. That's exactly right. I was hoping somebody would use it. And Juiced was doing a lot of direct editing. Ricardo Jean is here in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Omri coming in 1481, revising to 1481, I should say. Aaron C. Stream seems to be growing. Yep, we want to keep growing it. The best way to grow it is to share and reshare. So share it out on your networks. Let people know what's going on. And Glenn in the chat coming in here with 1415. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is 1481 grams. So I think that point is going to go to Aaron C. If you guys want to give Aaron a GG in the chat, 1481 plus or minus 1 gram. 1481 is the correct answer. So congratulations. Well done. Well done to everyone else who got the answer correct. And really well done to anybody who even took this challenge. These are not easy parts. And so it's very impressive that you guys are getting in here doing this challenge. But GG, well played. GG to Aaron. Congratulations. Aaron gets the first point for today. And we are going to move on to the next challenge here. And that next challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? So take a look at this model. It's in IPS. It's in plain carbon steel. And what is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? There's a section view of this part, and it only has one dimension. That's it. I don't know why I didn't just put that on the front of the model, the front view, and just done with it. I guess I just decided to mix it up a little bit and put this on the section view. So good luck on this one. Maybe it looks pretty easy, but you might find that it's going to take a feature that we don't really use that often in Model Monday Live. So good luck on this one. What is the mass of this part? x.xx pounds. Grab a screen capture. Try to model it up. See what you come up with. This is a good song for modeling. Alrighty. I'm drinking some Emergency today. My drink today. No Waterloo today. Had a little bit of a sore throat this morning. All right. Glenn revising through on that last model. Nice job, 1483. Keep going, bro. You got to shave 2 grams off somewhere. All right, guys, the tournament finals. If you want to go to the finals, you can visit us, TooTallToby.com/finals. We're going to have a live studio audience. You guys can see here, looking up at the screens, the massive screens here at this massive conference center. You guys remember this from last year, right? We had Allness versus Tom Smith in the semifinals up on that massive screen. Well, we're going to do it again this year. And we're going to be getting together in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. So if you happen to be in the area November 11th, go to TooTallToby.com/finals, register, come on by. It's free. There's no entry fee or anything. We're just going to be hanging out, watching the finals together. It's a watch party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Gagos247 is here. Says, hello, TTT. Hello, mate. Great CAD challenges and tutorials. Onshape newbie. Awesome. Well, welcome, Gagos. Thank you for joining us. Like I mentioned a few moments ago, I do have an Onshape playlist on the Onshape YouTube channel. So if you're looking to get some tips from somebody who was also a noob earlier this year, kind of documenting my journey, sharing some stuff that I learned along the way, check out that playlist. I think you'll get some good stuff out of that playlist. I mentioned Joko Engineering earlier. Joko runs a lot of different CAD systems, posts a lot of fun tips and tricks, and I did an interview with Joko earlier this year. It was a lot of fun. If you want to just see a couple of guys talking shop, talking CAD, check out the Joko Engineering podcast and, really just a YouTube channel. And maybe he's got a podcast too. I don't know if it's actually posted anywhere on like an RSS feed, but we did do a fun interview together. My bass is in the background there with that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sticker on it. always worth it to see that one in a video. All right, the September leaderboard. I know I still owe you guys a t-shirt on this one. Man, it's going to be November before I even get the t-shirt out for this one. But we did do the September leaderboard runs this month. There's a lot of good runs there on the TooTallToby channel. So if you go TooTallToby.com/leaderboard, you can see all of the runs from September. We're going to do a randomized drawing. We're going to pick one of these runs, and we are going to give away a t-shirt to one of these runs. We did see a plasticity run this month for the first time. I think that's the first time we've seen plasticity in here. We did see a build 123 run this month. Actually, we saw two build 123 D users. So a lot of good stuff in there that you can watch. You can go through and watch some different CAD systems modeling the same parts. And that is all part of the September leaderboard. And we are going to give away a t-shirt for that before the end of the month. I promise you guys it'll be before the end of the month. The reason I've been so busy is because I've been doing training classes. I work with different corporations, different companies, and I do different training classes. So if you work for a company and you guys are ever interested in getting some like level 2 parts modeling training or level 2 assembly modeling training, more than what's in the basic essentials, if you're ready to go to the next level, or even if you just want to do a like Toby's tips and tricks class, I've got classes in the can ready to go. Let me know. Reach out to me, TooTallToby.com/contact, or I think there's just a contact page right on the website, right at the top of the website. Hit me up on there. Yeah, here it is. Contact Toby. It just brings up a form. Hit me up on there. Let me know if you're interested in any training. I would love to work with you. I'd love to work with your company. We could even do some, one-on-one training if you were interested in that. But generally, it's better if it's something that's done through your company, just because you can usually get your boss to pick up the tab, and that's always nice when you don't have to pick up the tab. So, we do offer some training here, TooTallToby training, mainly SolidWorks training right now, but I'm hoping that at some point I'm going to be able to do some Onshape training as well. Or maybe it's something else you want. Maybe you just want to learn, how to give better presentations, something like that. That's something I can help you with as well. So lots of cool opportunities there, lots of cool training opportunities. All right, let's see what else we got here. I think somebody was asking about 68. I kind of wanted to try 68 in Onshape, kind of test out my Onshape skills. I am going to use a little bit of what I learned from Ivan, watching Ivan do this thing using SolidWorks. He did a really cool technique that I liked. So I think I'll do this one here. And I think that what you would want to notice on this one, first of all, is that it is a sheet metal design. So you do want to make sure that you use some sheet metal techniques when you're modeling. You want to notice that the wall thickness here is 6 millimeters. The wall thickness here is 6 millimeters. And you want to notice that these flanges here are coplanar. These flanges here that are sticking out the front of the model here are coplanar. And so knowing that might actually help you to make some good decisions when it comes to creating this thing in sheet metal. And that's exactly what I saw Ivan do during the live stream. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do here as well. Where's the extra 0.03 pounds? Well, I wasn't, I hope that wasn't in reference to my comment. Maybe that's just a reference that's going on in the chat there, Victor. I'm going to assume that that's what that is. So I'm going to just ignore and let you guys figure it out in the chat. All right, here we go. Let's close this document and let's start a new document here. Create a new document. This one is going to be called 23-T-68-L space bracket. This is going into the public. It's a public document here in BRACKET. This is a public document here on Onshape. So if you're using Onshape, whether the free version or the paid version, you can search for this text string. You can find this model and you can actually re-examine how I did this. And so this is going to be a sheet metal design. And so with sheet metal in Onshape, what I like to do is start out by creating a profile that's going to get extruded as a thin feature. And for me, that profile is going to come over, it's going to come up, and then it's going to come over again. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm drawing this shape right here, but you'll notice here that this shape kind of goes on two sides of the sheet metal. And when you have a scenario where you're ending up on two different sides of the sheet metal, you have to be really careful about your dimensioning. It's really easy to inadvertently kind of shortchange yourself depending on how the dimensions are created. And so what I like to do in this scenario is I like to actually take that geometry and immediately perform an offset. Now, the downside to doing an offset here, doing an immediate offset of the geometry, is that you then have an extra dimension that you have to manage. But as long as you're pretty confident that that dimension is not going to change, you can really set yourself up to make the dimensioning of this sketch more reliable. So for example, I'm going to be creating a dimension here that represents the overall height of this model, and the overall height of this model is 155. Well, if I had worked with that original sketch, I would have had to create that dimension not to the very top, but to this line here, which means the dimension would have been 155 minus 6 millimeters, and that could, become a little bit cumbersome to keep track of. And so instead, what I can do is I can create these dimensions now to the inner and the outer geometry of the model. Oh, thank you very much to Zacharoo coming through with the super chat. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much. Very much appreciated. Super chat is enabled during these streams, and it is very much appreciated. Thank you, Zacharoo. Glad these tutorials are helpful. So here what I can do now is I can create that dimension from the bottom line to this upper line and just make it the natural dimension, 155. Now, like I said, that does mean I'm going to have an extra dimension to manage if the wall thickness was to change later on, but I think that it's worth it. So similarly here, when I go to create this dimension coming across, I can be pretty confident that this dimension can be created at 100 millimeters. And again, just kind of working with the natural dimensions on the print. And I can be pretty confident that this dimension over here to this point is going to be 200 millimeters. Again, just working with kind of the natural dimensions on the print. So it's just a little trick that I use when I'm working in sheet metal. A lot of times I'll just kind of sketch in an offset for the sheet metal thickness if I've got dimensions that are bending in two directions, for the sheet metal itself. So now I'm going to exit that sketch. I'm going to go up to my sheet metal command here. And with the sheet metal command, what we do in Onshape is we say we want to use the middle option here for extrude. And then we can choose our 1, 2, 3 entities. And then we can specify that we want that material to go to the inside or to the outside. I want it to go to the inside. I want it to be 6 and 6. And then I want it to go out to a depth of, and this is where I'm going to go out to a depth of 100 millimeters, the max depth on this thing. And the reason I'm going out to that max depth of 100 millimeters there is because I want to make sure that I have geometry that I can then cut. So then I'm going to do a cut extrude to remove this. I'm going to do a cut extrude to remove this. So very clever approach, in my opinion, and one that I totally stole from watching Ivan this weekend. 100 millimeters, 6, hit the green check mark, pick this face, begin a sketch, orient my view, and now I'm going to sketch 2 rectangles, or actually a rectangle and a line arc line. So 1 rectangle there, and then 1 line arc line. Wake up that point there so I can get horizontal. Then we'll close that off. And then I'll make these guys all collinear. And then I'll just add in the dimensions for those cuts. So this comes over 20 millimeters. Oops. Okay, well, the depth of that is also, I think it's also 20. That was a misclick. We'll come over here, 20 millimeters. This thing has a radius of 12.5, and the distance from here to the tip of that arc is 40 millimeters. And then the overall width of this lower section of the model is 65 millimeters. And then the overall width of this upper section of the model is 50 millimeters. And then the distance from here to here is 55 millimeters. So very clever from Ivan there, creating that geometry in that manner. This is going to be a remove through all, and we're just going to rip through all of that sheet metal geometry. Now we can get in here and start adding some of these fillets. And another thing that I saw Ivan do that I'm very excited to see works here in Onshape is he created these fillets by just doing a window select on that corner. Makes it a lot easier to create those fillets looking down from the top, and it looks like that also works here in Onshape. So much easier than having to rotate the view and find those fillets. Very, very nice. And then we are going to create some tabs sticking up here. So this is going to be what's called an edge flange in Onshape, an edge flange sticking up here, and that's going to go up to a height of 30 millimeters. And then the location of that edge flange is going to be flush to the original location. So just kind of bent right from that original location. So we'll use the option here for outer to create that specification. And now we can create our fillets here on the corners of this part. This is going to be a radius of 5 millimeters for those corners. So 5 millimeters on here, 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 and here. And then we are going to create our sketch for our 2 holes here. So this is going to be a diameter of 8. And over here, we're going to create a diameter of 8 as well. And then there's just a couple of dimensions to lock these things in. 20 millimeters from the bottom of the part. There we go. And this is at a distance, a spacing of 45 and a distance across of 10. All right, and we're almost done. A couple of more features here. So we'll do a remove, through all, or up to next. Either one will work there for that one. And then for this final feature here, once again, we're going to do an edge flange. So we'll do an edge flange sticking down here, reverse the direction on that edge flange, and that is going to come down using the outer option once again to kind of make it flush to the existing material. That's going to come down to a distance of, what is this distance? It's kind of a weird distance here. I think I'm going to just make the full round and those slots all in one sketch. I think this is what Ivan did as well. So I'm just like completely ripping off everything that Ivan did here. So, you know, why not learn from the master, right? So we'll begin a new sketch here. We'll get normal 2 and we will create a line up to about there. We can create a line up to that same location over here. Get those horizontal. And then we'll create an arc between those two and make that arc tangent. Like so. Make that tangent. And then we're going to create a distance across to here, and we'll create a dimension that goes from the bottom to the center of that arc. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That distance is from this hole here to the center of that arc at a distance of 80. And now it's just a matter of sketching in those slots. So with Onshape, the way that we do a slot is we actually do a line first, and that line is going to be 20 millimeters. And then you click on that line, and then you go in here underneath the offset command, and from the offset command, you can choose slot. So then that slot is going to have a diameter of 15. And then we're going to do the same thing. We'll make another line here, like so. And then we'll take that line, give it a dimension. That dimension is going to be, oh, this one. Yeah, this one's kind of a interesting, the way it's dimensioned here. It's not dimensioned with the length. It's dimensioned from each edge here. I mean, I guess we could figure out what that distance is, but it's dimensioned here from each end. So 10, 10. And then this one, pick on this one here. This one is going to have a slot of 8. And then the final thing we'll do here is just define the location of that slot relative to this point at a distance of 10. And then we'll take that geometry and cut remove. So we'll say we're going to cut remove. Oh, look at that. Onshape just magically got exactly what I wanted. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And there we go. There is that sheet metal design in Onshape. You can always go over here to the sheet metal table. You can look at this thing in the flat. It just kind of shows up in the flat there. And then we can go down here to our assigned material. So our assigned material here is going to be TTT custom materials, and this is going to be plain carbon steel. We'll hit the check mark, and then we will click on this face, go to mass properties, and we'll see that we're coming up with a mass of 1230 grams. I don't know if that's correct or not. I think it is. Book of answers here. Yes, 1230 grams, and that is correct. So we did it. Got that one correct as well. We're 2 for 2. GG, Toby. 2 for 2 on that one. And so that is the Onshape tutorials for the day. I hope you guys enjoy those Onshape tutorials. I kind of get zoned in when I'm doing them because I want to make sure that we can finish before the end of the hour. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I'll go back through and look at the chat when we're done here. But remember to hit the like button. Looks like we got 22 people watching still. We got 20 likes. Let's get a couple more people to hit that like button. Remember, if you want to do more of these types of practice challenges, you can visit the playlist at the TooTallToby YouTube channel. Visit that playlist, and let's get into our answer here. Our answer for this final challenge before we break for the day. So it looks like the first answer that came in on this one was Aaron C. Is he going to scoop this thing? That is the question. Aaron C. coming in with the answer 2.058 pounds or 2.06 pounds. Will coming in 2.06 pounds. Victor K. coming in 2.02. Alibre 2.06. Let's see here. Where's the extra 0.3 pounds? Gonzalo coming in 1.93. Gonzalo revising to 2.02. Ali Amori coming in 2.02. Omri coming in 2.02. Glenn coming in 2.03. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is 2.02 pounds. 2.02 pounds. So let's see here. Looks like that one is going to go to Victor K. GG to Victor K. Aaron C. off by just a little bit. Will off by just a little bit. Could be a modeling technique. It's interesting they both came up with the exact same answer. They clearly modeled it in a very similar way. So there could be a little bit of a modeling technique issue there. It's always tricky when we have lofts and sweeps, although I did test this one with the merged tangent faces on versus off, and it still should have been within the tolerance. So 2.02 is the answer. 2.04 would be the max tolerance there. 2.06 is outside of that tolerance. So, you know, again, it could be a modeling thing, but GG to Victor K. GG to Victor K. Congratulations, Victor, getting that answer correct. 2.02 is the correct answer. That's going to give Victor the point. GG, Victor. GG to Aaron as well. Both people. It can be marked with draft. Could it be made with draft? I don't know if it could be or not. It's not really called out. I feel like the geometry twists too much in this region. So, I think it probably has to be made with either a sweep or a loft. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to our winners. Don't forget to check out the TooTallToby, the playlist on the Onshape YouTube channel. SolidWorks Expert learns Onshape. A lot of fun making those videos. Visit our sponsor, Alibre. Visit our sponsor, Joko Engineering. Visit our sponsor, SolidBox, mysolidbox.com. And of course, visit our sponsor, Revopoint. Great opportunity right now to sign up for their new scanner with a 40% off super early bird special. And thank you so much to you guys, the most amazing chat ever. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you today. Join us this Saturday. We've got the Elite 8 coming to a conclusion. Aaron C., who won a point today, going up against Pranav. Imants, the Onshape wizard, going up against Jihan Rafa. And that's it. Thank you, guys. Join us October 28th for the Elite 8. Model Monday Live next week at 1 p.m. And don't forget, if you see me posting anything marketing related, please take it and share it. Please share it on your networks, share it on your social media, email it to your friends and family, or even just print it out and hand a copy of it to your mailman. Whatever it is it takes. Let's keep growing this channel, and all the help that I can get is appreciated from all of you. Thanks again to our super chat today from Zacharoo Network. Zach from SolidWorks World 2019. Great to see you in here. Thanks for joining us. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Saturday, and I'll see you next week. And I'll see you in all the videos that I make this week, or you'll see me. See you, everybody.